safety recommendations after the murder of a social worker.
We're calling on the Alberta government to accept those recommendations.
What changes could make a difference? Grocery store labor dispute.
Workers are fed up as a whole.
Sobeys distribution staff on strike. Plus, world premiere of an Alberta-made documentary about a music icon.
It only made sense. To be here in Calgary has been a joy.
At opening night for Calgary International Film Festival.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Alicia Fieldberg.
Hello and thank you for joining us. We begin with new developments about the potentially looming teachers' strike. Tonight, Alberta Minister of Finance Nate Horner released a document saying it shows teachers are not concerned about class sizes but their bottom line. And the lead negotiator for the teachers has reportedly now resigned, seeing no way forward. We reached out to Alberta's Teachers Association tonight but have not yet heard back. The Alberta government is also launching an ad campaign to push its side of the labor dispute with the teachers. The Finance Minister's office says it's still determining where the ads will run, how much they'll cost, and when they'll start. An ad campaign by the Teachers Union has been running for weeks. The province and union haven't met since last week to discuss a collective agreement for teachers at public, separate, and francophone schools. The Teachers Association has set a strike deadline for October 6th. A fatality inquiry report into the 2019 death of a Calgary social worker has been released. 6 years after the killing of Deborah Onwu, the report says a lack of communication and safety standards contributed to the incident. Tim Brooke explains what advocates are asking for now.
In October 2019, Deborah Onwu was clocking into another day at Woods Homes, a mental health center in southwest Calgary. It was the last shift she'd ever work.
Even the most skilled workers are at risk. Without safe workplaces, legislation, and protective policies, tragedies do happen.
Onwu was stabbed to death by her 18-year-old client, Brandon Newman. He has since pled guilty to second-degree murder. A new fatality inquiry into Onwu's death highlights several concerns that may have contributed.
Today, we're calling on the Alberta government to accept those recommendations and commit to implementing them in the fall sitting.
The first two of four main recommendations call for more information sharing between agencies and between employers and their workers. In 2019, Onwu was not informed her client had previously attacked another caseworker and she was working alone.
The turnover rate across all agencies is very high. The mental health and psychological trauma that comes with the job isn't easy for people.
The report also calls for changes to guardianship for minors at the threshold of adulthood and new sector-specific health standards.
We know workers know the jobs best. They understand the hazards best. They understand the ways in which controls can be put in place to make the work safer.
Onwu's former union is pushing for the Alberta government to implement the recommendations. The province tells CTV News the departments from involved ministries will review any recommendations to determine whether changes to our current policies or practices are needed. The union wants to see action now to protect the next Onwu.
During the inquiry, the inspector said it himself. The employer was found to be in compliance with Alberta legislation. So what does that say about the legislation?
Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
A mother and young child were killed in a crash east of Balzac. It happened last night around 10 p.m. on Highway 566 and Highway 9 near Catherine. RCMP say a Dodge Ram heading north hit a semi heading south on Highway 9. The crash caused the pickup to catch fire. The driver of that truck, a 36-year-old woman from Hannah, and an 18-month-old girl were declared dead at the scene. 2 other children were injured and taken to hospital in Calgary. The semi-driver was not hurt. The cause of the crash is under investigation. A Calgary cyclist killed in a crash last week is being remembered as a devoted family man and passionate ambassador for the biking community. Philip Goheen was well known in Calgary's mountain biking community and considered a mentor and friend to many. Several of his adventures throughout the city and province were documented on his YouTube channel called Range Rider MTB. Police say the 40-year-old was riding in a marked crosswalk at 17th Avenue and 101st Street Southwest last Friday afternoon when he was struck and killed by an oncoming SUV. Those close to Goheen says his world revolved around his wife Candace and daughter Hannah, who were always his priority.
There's nothing else he wanted more than to give them the best life possible and be there and be the best dad and husband that he was. So comfortable and chill to talk to, and just a wealth of knowledge, right? So anything that you wanted to do, you pretty much talked to Phil about it, and he was the most supportive individual for everybody, right? If anybody had a dream, a goal, something they wanted to do, whether it was on the bike or in their personal life, he was just automatically supportive.
A GoFundMe page has been set up to support Goheen's family. Friends are also planning a memorial ride at Moose Mountain in Bragg Creek. Police are continuing to investigate the incident. Alberta's police watchdog has cleared 4 Calgary police officers of any wrongdoing in an arrest that injured a 13-year-old boy. In November 2023, a demonstration was held downtown in support of the people of Gaza. An ACERT report says body-worn police cameras show the boy spit in an officer's leg. The boy was then brought to the ground, pinned and handcuffed, as showed on officers' cameras and social media video. At the time, the young teen's family told CTV News they took him into Children's Hospital, suffering from a concussion, vomiting, and other medical issues. Police told the boy he was under arrest for assault, but charges were never filed. ACERT concludes the officer's use of force was reasonable under the circumstances. Alberta Health Services has issued a measles warning for Calgary after an infectious person visited public buildings. The warnings are for the Alberta Children's Hospital Emergency Department between September 11th and 14th, and for the Mission Medical Clinic on September 13th. Anyone who may have been exposed and is not fully vaccinated against measles should watch for symptoms. Health officials are encouraging those who think they may have highly contagious disease to stay home and call the measles hotline. Many Alberta grocery stores won't be getting stocked as usual. Sobeys distribution centre workers went on strike today after getting a 72-hour lockout notice on Monday. Tyson Fedor reports.
251 union members walking out the front doors of this Sobeys distribution centre straight for the picket line.
Today is D-Day.
Teamsters Local 987 says after 21 days of negotiating through a mediator, employees have had enough.
Refused to continue meaningful bargaining. We had never left the table.
The union says after years of being deemed essential during the pandemic, workers are being paid below industry standards and want respect.
But then when it comes time to bargain, they're not compensated as essential, and workers are fed up as a whole.
The strike will impact major grocers and convenience stores throughout central and southern Alberta, and the longer the stalemate goes on, the more it will impact the consumer.
Listening to the two parties talk, I'm not confident that this one will be a quick one. So yeah, I do think we within days will start to see, things not getting distributed, things, store shelves starting to get empty a little bit.
Labor relations expert John Foster says the past 5 years have been really difficult for workers in the grocery industry.
Workers in general are grumpy. They're feeling disrespected. They've gone through a rough few years. And so even when we think particular about workers in the food industry and the grocery store industry, right, it's been a really difficult 4 or 5 years.
Sobeys tells CTV News in a statement that this warehouse is automated and the company does not anticipate significant operational disruptions. As for the union, they plan on marching with their signs until a fair deal is reached.
We will be here as long as it takes. As long as it takes. At the end of the day, these members, these workers, are not just standing up for Sobeys warehouse employees, they're standing up for all workers.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Rocky View County.
Sobeys adds that it respects the bargaining process and has made every effort to reach a mutually beneficial agreement. The Calgary Flames GM says the team has no interest in bringing Dylan Dubé back to the team. In July, the former Flame was one of 5 hockey players acquitted of sexual assault stemming from a World Juniors team incident in 2018. The NHL recently reinstated the athletes, and they're eligible to take part in games starting December 1st. The Flames general manager said the team is not interested in re-signing Dylan Dubé at this point, adding he probably needs a fresh start. Danielle, this is the type of weather that for you is very boring because you don't have a lot to say about it. But for people who want to enjoy the outdoors, it's great.
Yeah, this is the good boring stuff, the stuff that we get to enjoy outside. And this is long lasting. So there's a lot of many warmer days in the longer range forecast. Tomorrow is included in that. So tomorrow we're looking at a high of 23 degrees. It may be a little breezy at times, and we will have a mix of sun and clouds. So cloudy periods at times as well. But overall, it should be quite a nice day with just a very small chance of an isolated sprinkle. Your full long-range forecast, not so boring, I guess, just ahead.
Thanks, Danielle. The 26th Calgary International Film Festival is now underway, and tonight's opening gala included a Canadian music icon. Biff Naked hit the red carpet outside the Globe Theatre along with the Alberta documentary team who created a film about her life. It's one of 9 world premieres at the festival this year. That's more than it's had any other year. Biff Naked also performed at the after party.
I'm pinching myself every minute, and working with these guys has just been such a privilege. It's just a privilege to be here and to be in the room with everyone and to have, you know, all of our friends here and the crew.
Over 11 days, the festival offers more than 200 films from a variety of genres. There will also be free outdoor screenings of Big Hero 6 and Clueless in Kensington Plaza on Saturday. SIFF runs until Sunday, September 28th. And tomorrow will be the opening night of another eye-catching event, and here's a sneak peek. From fun characters to creepy creations, Pumpkins After Dark features thousands of hand-carved glowing pumpkins. There are also live carving demonstrations, performers, and fall treats. The outdoor walkthrough experience is taking over Winsport once again. Organizers say the event is even bigger this year, and they're now licensed to serve alcohol as well. Pumpkins After Dark will run Thursdays through Sundays every week until the last day on Halloween. As trade disputes with China loom, Canada has to consider whether to focus on crops or cars. A new poll says Canadians prefer to support the canola industry than to try and boost the auto industry.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Charges have been laid against 5 people in a wildlife poaching investigation. 3 of the suspects sold various items to undercover officers, including a bald eagle feather headdress, black bear claw necklaces, and a raptor talon dance stick. One of the suspects, Simon Paul of Montana, is an American fugitive wanted in that country for killing birds of prey. Informants told authorities that Paul was killing eagles and hawks in Canada as well. Along with Paul, Teresa and Eli Snow of Morley, James Britton and Sophia Soriano of Calgary are facing 34 charges under Alberta's Wildlife Act and 9 charges under the Criminal Code of Canada. A former UCP MLA says plans are moving forward to revive the Progressive Conservative Party in Alberta, despite pushback from the UCP government.
You can't just steal the name of an existing party and then try to use their reputation to further your own. The Progressive Conservatives are a legacy party name for our party, and we will fight to protect it. Certainly, that's because they see us as a threat.
Peter Guthrie says the province issued a second cease and desist letter after the Alberta Party formally filed to change its name to the Alberta Progressive Conservative Party last month. Speaking on Alberta Primetime, Guthrie says despite the Premier's protest, there is solid legal ground for the name change, and it's Elections Alberta that will make the final decision.
Elections Alberta, they are the authority on elections law. So we're going to defer to them and to their judgment. The UCP will not be making the determination here, although they may try to influence the decision.
Guthrie says it could take up to 60 days for Elections Alberta to make its decision. He's hoping to be in the legislature as a PC MLA when the sitting begins in late October. The United Conservative Party says that it legally owns the PC Alberta name, logo, and history, and it will continue to defend its legacy. While provincial and federal governments continue trade disputes with China, a new Angus Reid Institute survey suggests Canadians favor cutting tariffs toward Chinese electric vehicles to secure Canada's canola industry. Sierra D'Souza Butts explains.
Given the economic impact China's tariffs have had on Canada's canola market so far, Canadians are leaning towards making an international deal.
A lot of Canadians are looking at it and saying, even if potentially this could upset the U.S., that we want to look and potentially protect our own farmers first.
A recent survey by the Angus Reid Institute suggests the majority of Canadians are in favor of dropping Chinese electric vehicle tariffs if it means helping to secure the canola industry. Based on the 340 people surveyed in Saskatchewan, that percentage rises to 68%. The survey question was part of a larger review examining several international trade issues.
But generally, yeah, what we've seen is that Canadians do typically have a pretty unfavorable view of China, but I think there's also a lot of concern about the economic effects of standing up to China, and that this is potentially one of those cases where it's like, okay, well, maybe the economic effects of putting these tariffs in place are not necessarily worth it.
Annual canola exports are worth billions of dollars for the prairie provinces, Saskatchewan producing more than half of Canada's canola crops. Saskatchewan's government and opposition have also expressed a desire to drop the EV tariffs if it brings relief for canola.
This is a call we've been making from day one here, that the province and the feds need to be working in tandem to end those tariffs that producers are paying.
The government of Saskatchewan says Premier Scott Moe's trade mission to China earlier this month was a step towards a potential solution, responding to the survey in a statement saying, the government of Saskatchewan is pleased majority of Canadians want to see Chinese tariffs on Canadian canola dropped, which is why Moe and industry leaders have encouraged Prime Minister Mark Carney to build on his work and engage directly with the Chinese government. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
7 Calgary seniors are being honored for achievements reached after retirement. The top 7 over 70 awards highlight the huge contributions many older adults make in our community. This year's winners still work or volunteer in business, education, science, social enterprises, arts, and sports. 92-year-old Ron Freckleton is an author and advocate for dementia and Alzheimer's awareness.
I do it because I love to do it. It's as simple as that. I'm having so much fun. And I believe that I'm making a difference.
Age shouldn't really matter in a lot of ways. And just because you've retired doesn't mean you need to retire. You can be rewired and refired and be able to return and give in other ways.
Right now, almost 1/5 of all Canadians are 65 and older. Well, it looks like another warm day ahead with an even hotter one expected on the weekend. Danielle's forecast is coming up.
We're squeezing out every last bit of summer, aren't we? Still in the 20s for today. 21 was the high in Calgary, 21 as well in Edmonton. Close to that, Regina and Saskatoon. One of the hotter places, Toronto, at 29 for today. And then those mid-20s in that corridor, Ottawa, Montreal, Quebec City, Fredericton. All right, so overall, some warmth in the country. Radar and satellite, we had a lot more space in between the edges of the ridge of high pressure yesterday. So the weather pattern is starting to shift, is starting to change, and we're going to get some more cloud cover roll in as we go here. Just to zoom out, we do have that activity, central Alberta predominantly. What we're looking at is for tomorrow specifically, there's that ridge of high pressure that's been in place for days. That's going to be out. We're in a bit of a lull here, and then another ridge will actually build in for Saturday. So Saturday temperatures will bump up again, lots of sunshine. And then this trough will move over us, this nice upper level low that will make things quite unstable for Sunday, but looks like we'll still hold some heat on Sunday anyway. All right, so hour by hour, really what we're looking at here is tomorrow throughout the day, cloudy periods at times, sunny periods at times. We may have the winds pick up, get a little breezy here and there. There's a small chance of a very isolated sprinkle as we get some of these waves of cloud cover. But again, for the city, it's a very small chance, just a 30% chance, so nothing really to worry about. And then Saturday, we may have some residual cloud cover in the morning, but overall, it should be a mainly sunny day as that next little ridge builds in. And then on Sunday, we get a little unstable once again. Okay, so for tomorrow, 23 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud, small chance of a little sprinkle, 27 and mainly sunny for Saturday. Sunday, we're looking at 23 degrees, that instability with showers and non-severe thunderstorms. thunderstorms possible. And for Monday, the first official day of fall, looks like we're going to kick off the season at 21 degrees. So what does the first week of fall hold with regards to temperatures? Well, I'll show you the 10-day trend here. And for the most part, we will have daytime highs in the 20s. One of the cooler days next week will be Thursday and Sunday, as you can see here.
Thanks, Danielle. Imagine what you'd feel like if you won millions of dollars in the lottery. We'll hear from the Canadian co-workers from a remote fishing village who got their big payout today.
Tell me, would you wait for me? Baby, I'm a rolling stone. I got a lot of right in me, but I don't want to say this wrong.
Multi-platinum musician MGK will be making a stop in Calgary as part of his Lost Americana tour. The artist, formerly known as Machine Gun Kelly, will play the Saddle Dome on November 29th and Edmonton's Rogers Place on December 1st. Ticket sales start next Thursday. A company born out of the Smart Lab at University of Alberta is hoping NASA will take its recycling system to the moon. NASA recently launched a competition to find a solution to space waste. Edmonton-based Waste Parrot was selected along with 17 others to enter the final phase of the contest. The chosen company will have their design on board the Artemis II space rocket when it heads to the moon next year.
With 3D printing technology, we are able to recycle plastics into meaningful products, but also we are able to use that recycled products, combine it with the regurgitated material from the moon, which can be used to create bricks.
Waste Parrot was selected out of 1,200 applications and is the only Canadian company to make the final round. 14 people who won a $50 million Lotto jackpot got their check today.
Félicitations!
They live in a remote fishing village in Quebec. Just about all of the village's 500 residents gathered to celebrate the news. Some of them in the group work in a fishing plant. They have been playing the lottery together for nearly 20 years, winning little over the years until now.
I was just completely frozen. I was shaking. I said, this can't be real. This is not real. You know, like, I can't believe this is happening.
I couldn't believe it, and I still can't. It's hard to imagine. It's emotional. Yeah.
It changes your life.
Yeah, big deal for them. The winners get $3.5 million each. 4 of them live on the same street, and they've now dubbed it Millionaire's Row. A stowaway cat has been reunited with his family on Vancouver Island after accidentally hitching a ride to Calgary. Risha Andrews first noticed Sherman was missing from their home in Courtenay last week and alerted her neighbors. A few minutes later, one of them got a frantic call from their daughter, who had just moved to Calgary and found a cat in the back of their U-Haul. Luckily, a relative was booked to fly back to the island the next day and was able to bring Sherman back to his family. Happy reunion. Thanks for staying up late with us.